Hi, a warm welcome. My name is CHIARADINA, and I'm grateful that you're joining me today for this season's greetings calendar, supporting a healthy connection to our body and the regulated autonomic nervous system as we approach Christmas. It's good you're here. Enjoy the daily sound bits. Inner space. I love astronomy. As a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut when I grew up, exploring infinity, connected by the love of God. So much about outer space. When we think about exploring inner space, being a so-called somanaut, on which level do we start? Do we start with NEUROCEPTION, the detecting and perception of signals from the inner body, our organs, bones, blood flow? Or do we start with proprioception, perceiving our own body in relation to outer space and the spacing and alignment of various body parts in relation to each other? The changes of weight, tension, force and speed we perceive within the body as we move. Or do we start with NEUROCEPTION, our subconscious ability or the neurobiological mechanism and neural circuits distinguishing whether situations or people are safe, dangerous or life-threatening? So when going into inner space, with the observer paradox from the double slit experiment, this may in fact start a whole new human paradigm altogether, maybe a foundation, one for venturing into outer space, but nonetheless, when going into inner space, for detection and exploration, it might be quite useful to check these 3 levels for feedback: interoception, proprioception, neuroception, for correction and re-establishing a safe base during our inner somanatic travels. And as we go now into a somatic movement exercise to work with these 3 levels, and also work with the 4 previous building blocks of connection, grounding, acceptance and resistance, let the countdown begin as we venture into inner space. Today I want us to start in a standing position. Before we begin, make sure that you can be in a safe outer space with no sharp edges of furniture or glass objects, glass tables around you, as we will later on experiment with shifting our weight on our feet as we have our eyes closed. We will start with connection, grounding and breath for a prerequisite for the perception of inner space, and then work with unconditional acceptance with interoception, signals from the inner body, proprioception, our perception of our ratio of body parts to each other and the perception of our body in relation to outer space, and neuroception, the perception of safety. And we will work with resistance, which will aid us with stability and autonomous somatic correction. Find yourself standing with enough space around you so you can safely close your eyes and have your feet hip-width apart, standing. I want you first to go into a connection of the surface where you touch the floor, around the soles of your feet, and feel the quality of the connection. Are you wearing shoes, socks? Are you bare feet? How does the surface feel that carries you? Is it soft? Is it hard? Does it provide stability? Does it allow you to bounce? And as you ground into this sensation of your feet in connection to the earth, I want you to feel that there is also a deeper vector of force connecting you into the core of the earth. And finding from this a connection to your breath, to a full inhale and a full exhale as you stand with your eyes closed. And then here, feel with unconditional acceptance what arises as you keep the connection to the floor and the earth and the flow of your breath as signals from your body. Do you have your jaw clenched? Are your shoulders drawn up or rolled back in a relaxed manner? Going into proprioception, how does your body feel in relation to outer space? Are your shoulders stacked above your hips stacked over your feet? Where is your head in space? And take some time to feel into this. And then going into neuroception, feel the quality of your inner space and what room it holds for the perception of safety. And if you're feeling safe, connected to yourself, connected to the earth, connected to the breath, as you experiment with signals, receiving signals from your body, and getting feedback about your alignment and placement in space. And for deepening this neuroception in relation to your own body, I invite you to keep the connection to the floor, to your feet, to your breath, to your body in space, to the earth, as maybe with eyes still closed, you shift your weight forward onto your toes. And feel maybe a little bit of resistance coming up, a little bit of how far you really want to go. And maybe with an exhale, shifting back onto the full soles of your feet. Again, checking with eyes closed about sensations, signals from your body. Feedback with your eyes closed where you're in space and if this feels safe again. And then maybe with the next inhale, whenever you're ready, shift onto your heels, leaning back. And stay with the grounding, stay with the connection, stay with the breath. And the feeling for the inner space and the three elements of interoception, proprioception, and neuroception within them. And maybe you find that as you lean back, that the body all by itself offers you balance and autonomous somatic correction, because before you would fall back, it will bring you back onto your feet or let you make a step. So just realize this natural boundary in the inner space your body provides you with. And then with an exhale, shift back fully onto the soles of your feet. And find this stability here once again. This feeling of safety, connection to yourself, grounding through your feet and your breath to the earth, the roots going deeper than the surface of the earth. And if you feel like it, continue this exercise with eyes closed, shifting forward and shifting back. Maybe very, very slow, taking a couple of breaths to shift forward, staying there, feeling, coming back to neutral, and then shifting back onto your heels, staying there for a couple of breaths, being aware of the inner space, what's happening in there, and then coming back onto the soles of your feet again, finding stability and neutral. So this is a somatic exercise where we can play with inner space and get to somatically know and distinguish the 3 different levels of interoception, proprioception, and neuroception. So these become workable elements within our life and aid us with being connected to ourselves as we move through our daily lives, especially when there's more movement and when maybe we are moving through stressful times. So I hope you found this introduction into inner space and its element useful, and that you can repeat this exercise often to really get it into your body and finding this feeling of safety within your body. Thank you for being here on the 5th day of December as we approach Christmas with our somatic Christmas calendar. It's a little belated today, but nonetheless as affectionate and well-meaning as before. Have a great Sunday. Thanks for being here. See you soon. Namaste.